one thing that UMD going in the locker room is not going to be a real pleasant place to be. What Molosky doesn't like to do it before halftime is give up a cheap touchdown. And you can't really call it a cheap touchdown because they earned it the last 30 yards of it, but it was 2 broken plays that really set that up. You can't be happy going in. Moorhead's got to have a new look on life now. There's just 1 touchdown down, and it's anybody's game.
Take a look at some of the individual statistics. We already showed you the team outlook, but rushing-wise, Moorhead State, known for their big bruising ground attack. Roberts is the leading ball carrier, 10 carries for 30 yards, and Troy Hendricks, the man who's got the string of 100-yard games, only has netted 26 yards in 8 carries, so a real credit to the UMD defense. On the Bulldog side of things, Corey Veach, 11 rushes for 41 yards, Molosky is 17 yards, and John Dolney 7 carries for 15 yards, and a very even stat there. Passing, of course, pretty even. Whipple 7 of 11 for 90 yards, and Molosky 5 of 6, so a good percentage, 63 yards, and that 1 touchdown to John Dolney.
And I think the key to this has been that Molosky's passing. He's been, when he's had to run the ball, he's run it. When he's thrown the ball, it's been right on the money. And I think that's been a big difference in this game because you can't consistently pound at a team and not go to the air. And they've chosen the times to go to the air, and they've done it very well.
Good look at Jim Molosky as he paces the sidelines. Now his counterpart, Ross Forchi. And a couple of coaches and a couple of big games. Of course, for Ross Forchi, he's going for career win number 100, so that gives his ball players a little bit of incentive. But the important thing is the winner here really has a leg up in the NIC.
They certainly do, and we mentioned before that if UMD doesn't beat Moorhead, there's not too many teams with the caliber of the play that can. And I think UMD still obviously has a chance to beat them. Moorhead down just by 6 points. Anybody's ball game. We're looking forward to a real exciting second half here.
UMD will get their hands on the football first. As you may recall, the Dragons won the opening tip-off, and they elected to receive. So the Bulldogs get their choice in the second half, and they have elected to receive. So they'll get their hands on the football with a 16-10 lead.
I'd also look for, Steve, in the second half, I'd look for Moorhead to start doing a little more, call some audibles, throw a little more flat passes, some flares, some jump passes, something to try and deal with UMD stunting, because UMD has been doing an awful lot of blitzing and stunting. I'd look for that in the second half, and perhaps maybe Molosky won't be blitzing quite as much. I'd also look for Moorhead maybe to go back to their 4-4 a little bit more to try and stop this UMD ground attack.
I think the bottom line, Lee and Eric, is that UMD has been so dominant up front. They have been knocking people off the ball, and whether or not they gave up that late touchdown, that's really not the issue. If they can go back to their game plan and continue to dominate up front, that shouldn't make any difference.
I think that's a good point. They have to go back with what got them the touchdowns, go back to their game plan, brand new ball game, and just get right back where they were and not let a couple of plays bother them.
Tom Gaslin, number 41, in to do the kicking. Corey Veach deep for the Bulldogs as we are set to get underway here in the second half. Gaslin, high kick going to the right sidelines. Veach is going to take it at his own 7. He's up to the 15-20, and that's about all he's going to get as he's stacked up at about the 23, and that's where the Bulldogs will negotiate 1st and 10 on their first possession here in the second half.
Well, one good thing about Moorhead kicking off, UMD will have the wind at their back, and it's a strong wind, so they'll have that advantage of the wind at their back in the fourth quarter, where I'd expect things to get pretty tight. 16-10 ball game right now, and we expected a low-scoring game. Both teams got off to a good start scoring right away. Then things kind of settled down. We've had a good defensive battle here.
Jim Molosky brings him out. Mark Nilsson is in there wide to the right. High formation behind Molosky. Drop play. Veach gets the call. He sidesteps one tackler, scoots ahead over the 25 for a couple of yards on the play.
Corey did a good job there of getting a little out of absolutely nothing. A little jet step there, enabled himself to at least get a couple out of it right when he was staring a 3-yard loss in the face.
Veach, a busy guy. He had 11 carries for 41 yards in the first half. And he gets the initial call here in the second half. Nilsson has been replaced by Dale Kraus for the double tight end formation in there again for UMD. Once again, Veach gets the call off tackle. He gets a yard, maybe 2 on the play, but it's going to set up a 3rd and long situation for the Bulldogs.
I'll tell you, there's a lot of hard hitting going on there. I can hear those pads hit from way up here. Contrary to most people's belief, we are not inside a warm, heated booth. We are outside, so we can hear the cracking of those pads.
And we can also get very cold after a long day.
Yes.
45 degrees at kickoff time was the official temperature.
3rd down and 6 for UMD.
22 in the booth.
Corey Veach going in motion. Jim Molosky rolling out. He's got his man. He throws, underthrows John Dolney. He had him wide open. I don't know if he could have gotten enough yardage for the first down, but it looked like the ball just slipped out of Jimmy's hands.
I think that's what happened. Either slipped out of his hands or he tried to aim it or something. It just went flying right in the ground. So Moorhead, barring any tremendous punt here, and it's going to have to be a low kick. He doesn't want to get up in the wind. Is going to have great field position.
Steve Craigseth, senior out of St. Louis Park, in to do the punting. He, of course, the backup quarterback for the UMD. Good athlete. Plenty of time. He gets it away end over end, and it's going to go out of bounds at about the 49-yard line of UMD. So as you mentioned, Lee, not a good punt, and Moorhead State has very good field position on their initial possession here in the second half.
And this first series of defense for UMD is going to be very crucial. They're going to have to set the tone and tell Moorhead that, hey, this is the same defense that you struggled against in the first half. They just have to go right back to work the same way they were. Moorhead again has to come out and say, hey, we still have the momentum. We're going to keep moving the ball.
Whipple brings him out. He's got Davenport flanked to the right, I formation behind him. Inside handoff goes to Hendricks. Hendricks, good hole. He's inside the 45 down to about the 43. Troy Hendricks, a junior out of Bemidji, averaging about 135 yards a game thus far this year.
And most of those are short yardage gains. He didn't have a big yardage break off last week. He had his longest one, I think, was 15 yards that he got, so he earns every yard he gets.
Like to run the football, and it looks like they're going to go with Hendricks. He gets the call again. He's down near the 40, or he's wrapped up by a couple of Bulldogs. The runs. Neville on the play. He's going to be a couple yards shy of a first down, so a big third down situation for Moorhead.
One of the first pass plays of the third quarter right here. Moorhead State with the advantage of a wind to their back. It'll be interesting to see how the secondary lines up now on what you would think would be a pass play.
We have yet to see Jeff Scheidak, by the way, the senior out of Grand Marais. He did not start because of the flu, and he has not played yet in this football game. Handoff goes to Quattabo, number 23. Good hole up the middle. He turned away, didn't have anything in the outside, cut upfield, and got more than enough for a first down down near the 35-yard line.
I think that's a point that should be mentioned, is that I think one of the reasons why Steve Peterson is blitzing an awful lot is because they want to cover up for Scheidak back there, the absence of Scheidak, because he's a tremendous defensive receiver.
First and 10 for the Dragons at the Bulldog 36. Play action fake. Whipple's got to get rid of it. He makes a catch. What a catch by Hendricks. Whipple just had to get rid of it. He was going down. He threw it. Hendricks didn't even know it was in the air. He turned around, tipped it, and came up with it.
That was a tremendous catch, and I'll tell you, Whipple paid the price. He was slow getting up on that one, too. He took a shot there. There's really nothing you can do about that. A guy gets the ball on his fingertips here. See this right here?
That's the previous play by Quattabo.
Before, but it was a tremendous catch, just tipping it and doing a tremendous job.
That is not a first and 10. It'll be second down and 7 for Moorhead. Quattabo gets the call again. This time he's wrapped up. Good penetration there by Peichel, number 44, and a lot of his mates there to clean up. Mark Brake and Kevin Neville.
I don't know if it's my eyes or what, but I think number 67, Al Rick, is wearing hush puppies out there. That's why, either that or he's got a lot of tape on him, but this field is conducive to wearing all types of gear, but it looks like he's got some type of hush puppies or real old pennies.
Well, he said it was a casual affair. Whipple, straight drop. He's going down. Big rush by UMD. Turcotte, DeRungs, Peterson, Brake, Raps, all 5 of them right there.
Well, if he got out of that one, he'd have to be Houdini. That was tremendous rush that time. In fact, here it is right here. He draws back. He looks, oh, I think I can get out of here. Well, there's no way you're getting around 4 guys. That was just a tremendous pass rush. And again, I think the reason they're blitzing a lot is to help cover up for the defensive secondary.
That'll be a scary feeling, dropping straight back to pass. You roll right and you look back and there's 4 Maroons right in your face.
What a big play for UMD. They force Moorhead State into a punting situation. Streggy, he's going for the coffin corner. Veach is going to call for the fair catch, but the ball goes into the left corner, into the end zone for a touchback, and the UMD will take over first and 10 at their own 20. We'll be back at Griggs Field in just a moment.
Many furniture stores offer quality furnishings, but during the 3rd annual National Furniture Sale, Beck's Furniture offers you great home furnishings from 22 to 57% off. The competition talks big, but will they offer you no monthly payments and no interest charge until February '86? Will they deliver free? At Beck's, we go beyond the competition with great discounts and super finance terms. One store stands alone. Get to Beck's during the great 3rd annual National Furniture Sale, going on now.
So the UMD defense stiffens and holds, and they give the offense another crack at it. Here in the 3rd quarter, 10:49 left to go in the game. UMD leading Moorhead State 16-10 in this critical NIC encounter.
Well, as I mentioned just before the half got started, I thought what Moorhead would do is try and throw a few more flat passes. My goodness, when they're blitzing everybody and their grandma at you, you have to do something about it. I don't know, maybe they're going to do that a little bit later, but credit that UMD defense. They're doing a tremendous job.
Jim Milosky brings him out. He's got Beach, Dolney behind him. Play action fake. He's got time. He throws it to a short man. Dale Cross, the tight end. He leaps up over the 30-yard line, very close to another first down.
Again, that play is very effective because they send the man in the flat area. All right, I'll cover him with my linebacker. Well, then the tight end delays. He goes short. He's complaining that he's being held there.
First down.
UMD gets a first down. Here it is right here. Delay a little bit. And there he's wide open, and he would have been in that pattern probably a little bit earlier, but I'm sure the Moorhead coach said, well, if they're going to get out in that flat area, well, then just hold them up a little bit, and I'm sure that's what Cross was complaining about.
He got an even 10 on the play. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs at the 30. Milosky hands off this time to Dolney. He's going nowhere. Cut down beautifully there by number 5. That's Dave Lawrence, outside linebacker from Bemidji. Big play there. Loss of a yard, 2nd down and 11.
Dennis Rango, number 22, into the Bulldog lineup for Durham.
Dennis Rango, number 22, is now in the backfield for UMD, along with Louie and Beach. Beach gets the call, sweeping right side. Spins away from a tackle and gets up to about the 33-yard line, but it's going to be 3rd down and long for UMD.
Oh, we were reading off the stats. There's Corey Veach again. We were reading off the stats at halftime. I was very surprised at the time of possession. I really thought UMD had the ball a little bit longer. The thing with UMD is when they get their first down, if they get a first down here, that means another, 3-4 minutes on the clock, and that's very important as far as the outcome of the ball game is concerned.
3rd down and 7. Double reverse. Beach is going to get the call. He's got some blocks out there. He's up over the 40. Did he get enough? I don't know. He's up near the 40. He had to get just over the 40.
He's close.
They're going to measure.
Well, again, that's what UMD teams, I think he's going to be just a little bit short. What UMD teams like to do is they're going to run their reverse. They're going to run it to the short side of the field. And that was no different that time. It's going to bring up 4th down and just a couple of inches, maybe a couple inches shy, and they're going to have to punt it.
Jim Milosky telling Corey Beach, Corey, you got to put your head down and get that extra yard. He did not. It is going to be 4th down and less than a yard, and Craig Seth is in to attempt his 2nd punt of the 2nd half. Nice low kick this time. It's going to hang up there. Taken by Horning on the run. Dangerously so. He gets up over the 45. Almost broke away from Wade Preston, but he was taking a heck of a gamble by fielding that kick.
Well, he sure was, and he almost broke the whole thing off. That's a coach's nightmare or a coach's dream. There's Tony Horning from Wilmer. Pretty gutsy play.
Usually a nightmare.
Yeah.
Well, Moorhead State gets the ball for the 2nd time in the 2nd half. Once again, good field position. The Bulldogs held last time. Let's see what they can do this time. 1st and 10 at the 46. Whipple, handoff goes to Flattabo. Flattabo, good yardage. He picks up another block. He's inside the 40. Down to the 35-yard line before Coughlin knocks him out of bounds.
Well, I'll tell you, I hate to say it, but it was a good run by him that time, but I was looking at that line, Steve and Eric, and there's a lot of jerseys being pulled. They were being held. I saw 3 guys being held, and Tom Ratz went up to the official after the play and say, hey, I'm being held. And I saw it from up here clear as day.
Well, the play went all the way down to the 35-yard line. Flattabo in there for Roberts, doing a good job. Hendricks gets the call this time. He spins for a couple. Couldn't get away from John DeRungs on the play. It'll be 2nd down and about 8.
this is going to be a crucial series here. As I mentioned before, it's going to be a crucial series because what you don't want to do is if you're going to give up a score, you don't want to give it in the third quarter. Obviously, you don't want to ever give up a score. You give in the third quarter, then the whole momentum swings. Now UMD's behind. They're going to have to come back and score. So it's a big series here.
Handoff, Flattable trying the right side again. He gets another big block inside the 30.
Bulldogs getting back to their team tackling. It's a good team scheme. You get a runner outside like Flattable there. One man hits them, stand them up, then hopefully get help from your teammates. Nice job by the Bulldogs.
It's a Duluth native, junior Ron Fike out of Duluth, who did not start the football game, but he was in there pulling on the play, and he's the one who made that big block.
He was leading some pretty good interference on that right-hand side. Scheidock in.
There's a good shot for UMD, number 27, Jeff Scheidock. Did not play at all in the first half, finally in there, the senior out of Grand Marais. Third down and a long 3 for Moorhead. A big play coming up. Flattable gets the call. He's going nowhere. Oh, he breaks away. He might have it. I thought Craig Potoshnik had him, and we saw something that doesn't happen too often. Craig Potoshnik missed a tackle.
That's right. He had him wrapped up there, and I think that second effort got him the first down, or it's going to be very, very close. Well, he's going to be short about a yard. But that's right. Craig is usually a pretty sure tackle. I thought he was going down, kept his balance, and just drove for that extra yardage, and they're going to be very close, and you can bet they're going to go for this one.
Well, young Dave Flattable out of Sauk Center, making a heck of a contribution here in the second half. Played very sparingly in the first half. Play action fake. Whipple throws. It's incomplete. We got a penalty flag.
Probably warranted this time.
Wade Preston on the coverage, but I think you're right. I think he definitely was in the process of tackling Flattable before the football got there.
Well, he had him beat, and there wasn't too much he could do. If you don't want to give up a touchdown, you're going to have to do something.
You got pass interference, defense. It's an automatic first down.
Big break for Moorhead. They trail this football game 16-10. Here's a look at it.
Really one of the, actually the third big play of the game that has been decided by a penalty.
And the old adage, penalties will kill you. First and 10 for Moorhead. The UMD 24. Handoff goes to Flattable. Student body left. Tries to get outside. Very little to go. Good pursuit there by the UMD linebackers. Coughlin came up from the safety spot to make the tackle.
See Peichel get in there?
Peichel number 44, Potoshnik 84. They were all there.
And if that play is going heading toward the sidelines, you can bet that they're doing a real good job of stringing it out, and that's exactly what you have to do. Outside people turn in, inside people turn out, and it ends up to be just strung out for little or no gain.
Flattable ran a long way to gain 2 on the play. Second down and 8.
Got to be throwing here, guys.
Faris lined up wide to the right. He is indeed going to throw. Big rush. He gets it off over the middle. Incomplete. Almost intercepted. Good play by Kevin Nevela.
There was heavy pressure put on. As Eric said, they have to be passing that time. Little play action pass came back, and UMD put some great pressure on that time. There's Scott Claflin out of Duluth. Almost a tremendous play, because remember now, if they're short, they don't get this one. If they throw the ball, they have that big wind behind them, so they can go for that field goal from a long way out.
I don't know who Flattable hit, but he picked up the blitz extremely well there to buy his quarterback Whipple some time. And a major league looking play out of the backfield.
UMD has called timeout. We're going to do the same. We'll be back at Griggs Field in 30 seconds.
When you're looking for a first-class American-made car or truck, you're looking for the quality and dependability of Chevrolet at Ranger Chevrolet in Hibbing. When you're looking for reliable service and repairs, you're looking for Mr. Goodwrench at Ranger Chevrolet in Hibbing. Chevrolet USA 1 is taking charge with Ranger Chevrolet.
For over 35 years, my father and I, and now my son, have wanted to sell you a car or truck. At Ranger Chevrolet, we want to do business with you.
I'm Tom George here at the Eating Emporium, and I'd like to show you what my family's been doing for 4 generations. Besides serving a wide variety of delicious homemade food, we've been selling the Cadillac of pool tables, Brunswick, here at St. Louis Billiards. Come on in if you'd like to learn how to play pool, have some good food, or purchase a top quality pool table. We offer a lifetime guarantee with 5 generations of service.
Eating Emporium and St. Louis Billiards in the Skywalk, Duluth.
Well, a big play coming up. Third down and 8 for the Dragons. They have the football at the UMD 22-yard line. It's their second possession of the second half. Last time in this situation, UMD dumped them for a big loss and held. Whipple back to pass. They pick up the blitz. He throws over the middle, incomplete. This time they do not throw the flag. Claflin got a hand in there.
Well, I don't know if he got a hand in there or he got a body in there, but maybe they just got sore hands from throwing those flags. But I thought he hit him a little bit early, but who cares?
All things even up, I guess. That's life.
They've let things go less questionable than that throughout the game.
That's true. It was pretty close. It was a good stick, and I'm sure Moorhead thought it was interference. It looked like it was pretty close, but you know, that's just football. This is not basketball. We're here for some a little bit of pad slapping. This will be about a what?
38-yarder for Gaslin.
And from Wadena coming up.
Fumble a snap. Chodak picks it up. He's going to have to eat it. Big play for UMD. They hold him to no points.
Well, I'll tell you, if that's the same snapper who's doing the snapping on the punts and the extra points, he's in trouble when this ball game is over, especially if Moorhead loses, because I don't know if it was that bad of a snap, but it wasn't right at his hands. And a missed opportunity for Moorhead there.
Well, Moorhead State, a team that's usually very steady and very meticulous, making a lot of mistakes here in this football game.
And I'll tell you what, that really pumps up that offense. They're out there fired up now, and they know they're going to try and do a job.
Jim Molosky brings it out, 1st and 10, the ball at the 29-yard line. Handoff goes to Veach. Veach gets a couple of yards, and then the hole closes quickly.
Well, I think what we're about to see for the rest of the way here by the UMD defense, or offense, if it stays this way, is a less than creative offensive play selection. Vintage Molosky.
Corey Veach gained a couple on the play. UMD, their second possession, they lead this football game 16-10 with 5:50 left to go in the third quarter. It's been a dandy. Handoff goes to Louis, first man through, big hole, he's up to the 40, he's got a first down. Mike Louis, he hasn't carried the ball often, but he does get the job done.
Well, that time they're starting to look for a little bit more on the outside. Louis that time came back and hit the seam up the middle. As I mentioned before, if you get through those seams, you're going to give yourself a big play, and that's exactly what happened. Louis out of Cherry, Minnesota. Here we have it right here. Snap by the quarterback just inside there. Louis splits that seam, and a big play and a first down for UMD.
Good blocking at the point of attack by the front offensive line for UMD. Veach gets the call. Veach hops away from one tackle, and he dives up forward to about the 48-yard line. Locker finally made the stop.
It looked like the bridge went up there, number 99, Mark Feeney. It looked like he had them all wrapped up. And here it is right here, right through there. Looks like, whoop, he's got him. 59 it was who had him wrapped up that time. Went right under the bridge, and good game.
2nd down and 2.
Keith Kissel that time on the miss.
Handoff goes to Louis. Louis up over the 50. Stumbles forward to about the 46, 47-yard line. Another first down for UMD.
And credit Paul Roth, Leon Banks, Jeff Dunnell, Dolly, Evans. They're doing a tremendous job, and they're moving those people out.
A makeshift offensive line. A couple of their regulars out. Sean Newman out with who had arthroscopic knee surgery during the week. There's a look at Ross Forchi. He's in danger of not winning career win number 100 today. I don't think that's really on his mind right now.
Still a lot of time left.
Bulldogs have it 1st and 10 at the Moorhead State 47-yard line. Handoff goes to Rengo this time. Rengo down inside the 45. It's the first time we've called Dennis Rengo's number this afternoon.
Well, you know, talking to Molosky this week, too, I was in his office, a little chit-chat, if you call that whenever you talk to Molosky. He pretty much dominates the conversation. But I talked to him, and I said, you know, what do you think has been the problem? And he said, well, basically, we haven't gotten our offense going. We can't get that ground game going. And he said, that's what we've been working on all week. We've had a real good practice. And as sure as evident today that they have the ground game back on track.
Well, they're going with that double tight end formation and the power I formation in the backfield, and it's been very effective thus far in the second half. Second man through, that's Veach. Veach, he fumbles the football. Who's got it? Moorhead State.
Kind of ironic, the first turnover of the game goes against the Bulldogs, and it comes at a critical time.
And that's too bad because UMD was moving the ball, moving effectively. Now, what has to take place is the defense has to come on. There he is, number 31, recovering.
Greg Bates with the
Greg
recovery.
Bates, big recovery, and that is the first turnover. Here we have it again. Good hole, good blocking, comes flying right through there, good pop, and Bates recovers a fumble, and that's the first turnover today, as Eric mentioned, and it's advantage Moorhead.
That can break your back. You're moving the football very effectively, and then the turnover hurts you. Moorhead State, 1st and 10 on their own 40. Whipple back to pass. Whipple throws it out on the flat, and it's incomplete. Intended for Greg Flock, the tight end, number 84, but he couldn't handle it.
Well, I was just going to mention it with 3:36. You think they're going to put the ball up a little bit because that's a strong wind at their back. They might as well pass while they have the advantage. And he was open there, just underthrew him a little bit, and good break for UMD.
You know, Whipple really does have a good arm, Stephen Lee. One thing that's really impressed me is his release, a quick release, kind of the likes of Dan Marino. They talk about his quick release.
He's had to release him pretty quick today. He's been under a lot of heat.
2nd and 10. Back to pass once again. He's going deep. He's got a man. It's going to be picked off by Coughlin.
Just a tremendous play by Scott Coughlin there, number 46 of the Duluth, Minnesota. He goes back, good coverage that time. The ball was slightly underthrown. He came back for the ball. Just a tremendous play, and there's a break for UMD.
A very happy UMD bench, so we're seeing the ebb and flow, so to speak. Moorhead with a big turnover, and UMD coming back, and Ross Porchy saying, we can't win when we do that, guys.
Well, they say turnovers come in too, and indeed they have. In less than a minute, the ball has switched hands, and so far, UMD right now coming up big.
1st and 10 at their own 35. 3:30 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. The Dogs lead it 16-10. Rengo, Dennis Rengo, good yardage up over the 40. Gain of about 8 on the play.
Oh, we had talked about how those down linemen like to flow. They've gone away from their 4-4, but those down linemen are very active. They usually gang tackle. But what you're doing, what you're seeing a lot of it this quarter is a lot of double tight end. That means, as I said before, you got an extra blocker in there, and they're doing a good job of getting through that initial line of scrimmage and making good penetration.
Well, I can't say enough, at least thus far in this football game, about the job those 5 front blockers have done for UMD this afternoon. 2nd down and 2. Rengo once again. Rengo trying to get outside. He's going to be close to the 1st down, I believe, about a half a yard short.
That time, Paul Horning. Yeah, I knew I was going to say that.
The golden boy.
Yeah, Tony Horning came up and made the play. In the scouting reports, he went down. He is the #1 tackler, the best tackler they feel they have. But the only thing is, if he's making the tackle, you know something's not right up in front.
Well, he came up and made a big tackle there. 3rd down and a yard for the Dogs. Malosky takes it himself, and he's got it. Jim Malosky, when he leans that big 6'4" frame out there, a yard is not too much for him, and he gets it.
And that doesn't seem like a big 1st down, but it is, because now with that 1st down, it should pretty much chew up the rest of the clock at 2:12. So if they do have to punt, they'll be able to punt with that big wind at their back, and that's a big advantage.
Coach Malosky going with Dennis Ringo, man right out of the backyard in Esco. Steve, are you surprised to see Ringo in there at this point of the game?
Well, I don't think so. He utilizes a lot of people in that backfield, and Dennis Rengo started the first 2 or 3 games, and then John Dolney beat him out, but Jim Malosky likes to use a lot of people. Veach gets the call this time. Veach up over the 50, and he doesn't want to go down. Corey Veach, for 165 pounds, carrying a couple of people. Horning and Locker finally make the stop.
You know, that is so important to see a back that does it. He just keeps his legs driving and driving and driving. You see a lot of big backs with a lot of potential, but the thing with the big backs, a lot of times, they get a good pop, 1-2 pops, and then they let their leg drive drop. With Corey Veach, he just keeps his legs going. That's what makes him so successful.
Well, he gained 8 on 1st down, setting up a 2nd down and 2. The ball at the 46-yard line of Moorhead State. Veach going in motion. Louie gets the call this time. Louie, he's stacked up. Ran into a brick wall that time. Chodek, number 7. Kissel, number 59. A couple of those very active linebackers.
All right, you can really tell a difference when those down linemen get their blocks or when the linebackers are filling, because when they're doing their job, it makes Veach look good, it makes Ringo look good, and if they're not, those backs are going nowhere.
Scott Rugmer, number 90. Out of Osseo, Minnesota, also in on the stop. He's one of their better ones up front. Big play once again, 3rd down and 2 for UMD. Handoff goes to Ringo, or is that Veach? And I think that's going to be short of a 1st down. Corey Veach, he was tripped up, tried to go forward, but he's going to be about a yard shy, so a big decision here for Jim Molosky.
Maybe closer than we think. Gave him a pretty good spot on it.
He is going to be short. Short and less, fourth and less than a yard, and Jim Molosky, the coach, has a big decision to make.
Come on, Jim, go for it.
He is going to go. He has left the quarterback in there. 24 seconds and counting left to go here.
I think what you might see him do is just run the clock down and try to make him jump outside, and then punt with the wind at your back. Or I could be wrong.
Beach, first down. Gutsy call for Jim Molosky, and it pays off.
You're right, Eric. That was the first time in my life I've ever been wrong, and I was glad I was wrong that time. That is a gutsy call. I mean, you've got only a 6-point lead, and there's Jim, and he's happy with himself. He's got to be really happy. And there you have the other side of the story. But still, we have a whole quarter left to play, and that's the end of the first quarter.
That is the end of the third quarter. UMD continues to lead 16-10. We'll be back for the fourth and final quarter after this timeout.